Hello, radiant woman. Taking a deep breath coming in today because, yeah, I'm both excited about what I want to share today, partly because I know it's deeply, deeply important, and partly because it feels a bit daring in the times that we're living in right now. Yeah, because what I want to talk about is what I have found to be the most direct path to living a life of abundance, and that is living a life of gratitude. Yeah, I know. But hear me out, because I'm not just talking about feeling grateful for all the good things that are happening in your life and having your gratitude list. Those things are deeply important. They help you get into that vibratory state of gratitude. But what I'm talking about is bigger than that. I'm talking about true gratitude, which is a gratitude for all of it and meeting life from that place of gratitude. Yeah. So this week, I had the pleasure of taking the women in my Heroine's Journey program through a powerful gratitude embodiment practice that had us all beaming. It felt so good. I truly felt drunk by the end, just drunk on the high vibration of gratitude. And that's what gratitude is. It's this high frequency vibration state that um, that is the ultimate state of receivership, right? It is the ultimate state of being available for what it is you desire. So I'm sure that you've heard that gratitude is a powerful manifestation tool. And it is. In fact, scientists are now, studying this. And Joe Dispenza has done huge work in this area. And, there is now recorded evidence and proof that as you raise your frequency, energy, vibration to high states of emotional states of gratitude, of love, of abundance, you become a magnet for the life that you desire. But here's the catch when we're talking about gratitude, because if you're selective in what it is that you're grateful for, you're actually still blocking the good that's trying to make its way to you. Yeah, so true gratitude it's not conditional. It's not dependent upon everything out there working out and looking like what you desire for it to be. And so gratitude is actually a high level practice, you know, because life isn't always showing up the way we want it to. And so what happens when life isn't showing up the way we want it to? We resist it. We go into we basically shut down. We go into resistance and frustration, and we start we start closing down. Yeah, I'm thinking about specifically as a parent, how easy that is, right? Because we want so much for our children to be doing well. And when they're not doing well or they're not feeling well, of course we're in shutdown and resistance to that, right? And you can see in that there is this condition that we put on gratitude, right? Because it's difficult to be in this open state of love for all that is when, yeah, when your baby's hurting, or, you know, or when life isn't going your way, right? Yeah. But the practice is, can you stay open through whatever life is bringing? Yeah. Can you stay in this state of gratitude even when life isn't going your way? Yeah, and it's a huge charge, and like none of us are good at this, right? It's a practice. It's a practice, but it also is an invitation. Yeah, it's an invitation, because true gratitude isn't exclusive. It's actually inclusive of all that is. Yeah. Even even the pain, even the hurt, even when somebody did you wrong, even even with all the BS that's going on in the world right now. Yeah, gratitude is inclusive of all of it. It's not exclusive. So when you are in a state of gratitude, you're actually in that open state that feels so divine, so powerful, that it's hard to keep the tears from falling. That's when you know you're in gratitude. It's not for a specific circumstance. Yes, it could be turned on by a specific circumstance, but it's a blasting open that then kind of includes everything else, right? Yeah. So what gets in the way of it is our resistance, is our wanting life to be some other way than it is, or some circumstance to be some other way that it is, or the way that we that we withhold forgiveness, right? That we resist what has happened even in the past, Yeah, yeah. So it's a high level practice, and it's not like you have to be there all the time in order for it to be working. But the more you're moving in the direction of being a yes to all of it, the more you're expanding your capacity for higher and higher levels of receiving the good, right? Because the more often you can be in that open state of gratitude, the more you have, you know, your doors open for receiving all that you've been calling in. So the key ultimately is to not go into shutting down, to not be in resistance as much as possible. And so, you know, a middle ground is acceptance, is being in a level of acceptance for what is, which is still, you know, it's an open state. It's an in between state. Acceptance, it's not the full wide open state, but it's also not a resisting. It's not resisting what's coming in. So even in those struggling times, if you can lean into acceptance, which doesn't mean you agree with what's happening or that you even want at all what's happening, but you're willing to accept that this is happening. And from that place of acceptance, you can take the next right step, right? And so the trick is not falling into closing, or basically not moving into fear, right? Fear, or letting like, oh no, if this is happening, what's going to happen next? But being in this place of openness of like, okay, this is happening. And now what would love do, right? So, yeah. So gratitude is the ultimate state of receivership. This is the ultimate place of calling in the life that you want. So if you can practice feeling grateful for, things that didn't go the way you wanted them to go, or for a past that wasn't ideal, if you can find gratitude for your life in all its grit, you can step more wholeheartedly into that state of receivership. So yeah, I mean, and this is the premise for shadow work, which is about bringing the dark parts of the unconscious, the don't like situations into the light, which we will definitely dive into at some point in the future, because when it comes to manifesting, whatever's dwelling in the unconscious really plays a significantly bigger role than what you're consciously thinking about, or trying to control, which is why affirmations aren't enough, right? Because there's so much more going on. So the more you can bring light into your don't want situations in life, the more you're open to what life is bringing to you. So how is true gratitude for all of it achievable? Well, I'm not gonna lie, this is not an easy path, because you've got to do the work to both, forgive your past, and as well as meeting life with a level of curiosity and openness. And that takes consistency, and that takes perseverance, and persistence in showing up for your growth, so that you can ultimately fall in love with all that is, which is Byron Katie's work, right? Loving what is her book, and how she lives her life in the flow. But personally, I think it's like it's about doing your best, to lean in with curiosity, and not giving yourself a hard time when you fall into the darkness. Just knowing that you can choose again at any moment, as A Course in Miracles says, you can choose again. Yeah, and it has taken me years to get to a place where I can, genuinely look into my husband's eyes, and as we lift our plates, as we do every evening at dinner time, and say the words grateful for every little thing. And like, even just saying it blasts me open, right? Because it's like, I know that if I'm saying grateful for every little thing, that means all of it. That means all of it. That's no holding back. And my heart just cracks open, and see the tears already start to fall. It's a beautiful place to be. And Yeah, it's such a gift. It's such a gift to the world. It's a gift to everyone in your life. It's a gift for you. It's a gift. It's a gift. It's what the world needs more of. And it's the hardest practice, especially in these times that we're living right now, where so much is breaking down and there's so much fear in the world right now. So much fear running the show. We need love. Got my little picket sign. But let me tell you, when I say it's taken years for me to feel grateful for my life, um, I mean it. I mean it because I've had a lot to forgive in my life. I've had a lot to forgive. But on the other side of surrendering and letting go and letting the love in is this overwhelming sense of gratitude, of love that I can really easily access when I remember, that I can truly access this expansive place, that I can sit there at my evening meal and I can lift my plate and I can go there, right? That takes work. It takes work. And the work is worth it. I'm an advocate for the work. Do the work, right? You don't go to the gym for the workout usually, unless you're that kind of person, but it's for the benefits that you receive on the other side. It feels so good, right? And yeah, you feel good about your health and you just feel good all overall. So yeah, it's this also. It's like be committed to this deep work because the results are beyond great. They're beyond great. And now that I've done this work, what do I get to do but share the abundance with you? And that's a huge bonus. Peace and blessings.